if you want to be exalted as a teacher or a pastor or even a doctor or a nurse, if you want money, that kind of thing, lower yourself. God is greater, lower yourself. There are many pastors and Sunday school, all these people, they pretend to act, they pretend and they act like, oh, God's important, God's important. What they're really saying is that they're important. They're saying they're important. When people come to church and they got to have their hair slicked back and every hair in place and a nice tie and a nice suit, what they're saying is, hey, look at me. Jesus didn't say that. He said, look at God. He came as a servant. He was humble. He made himself of no reputation. And Paul said, God chose me to do this in Galatians. And there were so many people, especially in Athens and especially in Jerusalem, Athens, Greece, and Jerusalem, Israel. There were so many people who would say, oh, listen, I've gotten this much knowledge, whatever this much knowledge is, and then like a doctor of ministry or what, or a master of ministry or a master of divinity or whatever, and they say, well, I'm qualified to lie to you. That's what people say. I know, but you should believe me. It's the same problem we have with scientists, same problem we have with social scientists. They say, well, I want people to do this. Or somebody will pay them and say, you're in this position, say this, so I get my agenda done. Paul's agenda was to serve Jesus and to serve the Father. He didn't say, well, I've got a message for you, and it comes from my heart. No. He taught them what God was teaching him, with the idea that after him, people would come up in humility, being lifted up in humility to fill his shoes, to completely fill Paul's shoes. Paul talked about himself and Timothy as slaves. Slaves didn't have their own will. Paul said, I'm not doing what I want to do. It's not about what I want. It's about what God wants. I'm not doing my own will. I'm not teaching you my doctrine. God made me an apostle. He said, I'm not lying. He tells us in Galatians 1, he said, I'm not lying to you, Galatians. It's God who did this. He said, I don't deserve it. The least of the apostles.